This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hashtag no music, no intro, no coaches, no players.
No blocking.
No receivers. Whoo, buddy.
Man.
I don't know. All right, I know where to start. I'll start right here. Right. The defense, we talked about it last week. You know, the quote Rich Eisen said that the Saints are a defensive team wrapped around like an offensive mind. Bro, like the defense is as many players that were out on defense, they did enough where they could have won this game.
Oh, yeah.
The adjustments that were made in the second half, you know, special teams, the blocked field goal, the strip sack and interception, like they did enough. We gotta talk about the offense, bruh. Like I get, you know, coaches was missing, get all that, but execution wise, Sean's play calling, players, talent, like it's a mess right now, bro. It
was a mess, man. It was a mess, and it's like we've seen similar games in the past that'll crop up every now and then. It's just kind of like where everything is off. I mean, they had 11 and 12 penalties, like 115 yards. They could never get in rhythm. The pass protection was terrible. They couldn't run the ball at all. I mean, how many yards did Kamara have running? Like.
Tough sledding, bro.
It was terrible, man. I mean, Kamara had 8 attempts, 5 yards.
Bro, the best run of the game was Taysom.
Yeah, Taysom and Jameis. It's like you're just not gonna win. You're not gonna win like that, man. It's like. That was one of the worst offensive performances under Sean Payton, man. Like, it was that bad. It was awful. I mean, Jameis completed what? He completed 11 passes, man.
Woo!
11 of 22, 50%, bro. For 111 yards, man. Like, come on, man. That is like that's piss poor. Like that's one of the worst offensive performances under Sean Payton. I know Drew Brees and the offense had a few stinkers last year, but not even that bad. Like that was terrible. They couldn't do anything, bro. Like
they couldn't.
Nothing.
And I wasn't joking around on the preview pod when I said like I'm not going to break down Phil Snow's defense, but Phil Snow put that work in defensively, bro.
And great plan.
Great plan was pretty simple. We're going to blitz and bring pressure. Part of that is because obviously there's pieces missing on offense. Another part of it is like the way you beat a blitz is, especially if the defending team is running man coverage, is people got to get open.
Right.
And they game planned and knew they knew that the offensive talent at wide receiver and across the board were not going to be able to win man-to-man matchups, bro. Like that.
No.
like the offensive line played like shit. Ruiz was like it was bad, but it was like a merit. Like it was a perfect thing of bad offensive line play, receivers not getting open, and it led to all this. It's kind of like what's worse, the chicken before the egg, both bad.
Right. Like people, try to blame Jameis, people blame this, that. It's everybody. Like it all works in concert. Like there's no one person from this game, even on offense, that you could blame. I guess you could blame Sean Payton, since he's the head coach. But like that's it. Like it was everything affected everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like the protection, like even it's like dudes was unblocked. Like it wasn't even like Teron Armstead was getting beat and all that stuff. It was like dudes were literally just running in unblocked, and that's on the offensive line. I mean, I don't really know who to blame for that because, like I said on a preview pod, Eric McCoy was supposed to be doing all the protection calls, the micro checks, and all that stuff, but he's out. So, I mean, do they hand that to Caesar? That'd be kind of sucky for him to hand that to him. I mean, the dude's a second-year player. He's not going to understand all those protection calls and shit. And, I mean, shit, he didn't even practice at center the whole training camp. So, I mean, did they hand it off to Jameis? Did they hand it over to one of the guards, Pete? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And, they talked about it after the game, Sean Payton and Jameis and Teron Armstead is protection issues. So, that particular part of the game doesn't overly worry me going forward. Because I know Sean Payton Sean Payton starts his game plan with protection. So, like, they're going to figure that shit out. It's probably going to be bumpier than it has been in the past, like with Drew, because Drew managed all that shit. So, that could be bumpy just going forward. That just could be like an issue where you have games like this where dudes just coming up. Like, you wasn't seeing Breeze getting hit immediately by unblocked rushers.
No.
Like, you might get them one time with some kind of sophisticated disguised blitz or something like that, but you're not going to repeatedly get it like 2-3 unblocked dudes.
No,
it's just not going to happen. So that really, like, they just could not get into any rhythm whatsoever, bro.
They couldn't get in the rhythm, and I knew what type of. It sounds weird, bro, but when Carolina takes the ball down, open the kickoff, score a touchdown, and when Sean goes nothing but passes, I knew what type of game it was going to be. We've been Saints fans long enough to know that there are just certain games where like you can it's like pass, and they were all like bad, like nothing was, and it was like okay, this is, and there was just things that we said on the preview pod. If Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns are turning up, they're not winning this game, and they turned up all game.
And Shaq Thompson, like he was,
and Morgan Fox.
They must have slept with a 41 jersey, bro. It was like they wouldn't let their kid get loose at all, bro. Like they were on his back. I mean, the DBs, everybody, they were checking 41, and that's your offense right there. Then they couldn't. I mean, you can't really say anything because it's like they just couldn't get anything going. It's like even when Jameis did make a few passes and completed them, it was him under duress, like faking the run and then making the throw. They were never just a collection of passes of him just snapping the ball, sitting back, hitting the hitch, boom, come out. There was no timing to it whatsoever. So I mean, I don't know who you blame on that, but like the wide receivers, bro, like look, it's a problem. And the Saints know it's a problem. Like they wouldn't got Ken Stills. He should have been playing today.
Wasn't.
It's like, look, like I asked on Twitter, I was like, how many yards do the Saints wide receivers have so far this season through 2 games? It's like 260 yards total. And I think that's total, like for all players. I think wide receivers is less than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like 50 of that is like Deontay Harris.
55, yep.
Yeah, the rest of the other 150 or whatever is like just, Callaway. I mean, it's like, where's Callaway? You know what I'm saying? Like, even my wife asked me, what happened to the boy that was catching all them passes in preseason? Where he at? He hurt? It's like, nah, he's playing.
Have you seen him?
Have you seen it? He's running routes.
Get some cardio in. It's an issue. Even it was just weird. Just the game plan just felt weird. Like Jawan Johnson, I don't know where he was. Like he made numerous plays last week. Didn't seem like he was part of the game plan a lot this game. And can we talk about Adam Troutman? Can we talk about him?
He's not looking good at all, man.
Drafted in the third round. To date, his best attribute has been him, run blocking, whatever, inline tight end. But even today, like, although I will say that play action scheme, like the max protect, like asking him to come all the way across the formation to block Hassan Reddick, like that's bad scheme wise. I hate it.
That's coaching.
That's coaching.
That's on coaching. Right
that's
there.
coaching. But like he was drafted in the third round last year, and what we said all during the offseason, all these articles of this Adam Troutman explosion. And we were just like, y'all extrapolating a lot from 15 catches, man. Like,
they
a
kept
lot.
Posting that little gif for that little jerk route. Well, it was like, boy, what?
And it's early. It's 2 games in, 15 or 17-week season, 17-game season. But he's just not what you, as a fan, he's not what you would expect to get from a third-round pick. And I remember that draft. Like, they traded the rest of their draft picks to move up to get him.
Right. Like, they targeted him. They thought he would be something. I thought he was, too. I mean, I looked at I didn't know him before he was drafted, but afterwards I looked, I was like, okay, this looks like a nice little athletic tight end that Sean Payton. Like, Sean Payton has made a lot out of,
yes,
small school tight ends and shit before. So I was like, okay, do something with it. But I don't see the upward trajectory trend with him right now. That could change. But, like, say with Jawan Johnson, you see it. Like,
yes.
Just see it just in a few plays. You're like, okay, I could see the vision for him perhaps doing something. I just ain't see it yet with Trump, man. I'm like, where is that? I don't know. And the thing is, like, it's funny. It's like last week completely flipped upside down. Because last week it was like we need the young players to step up. And they did. They really did. And this week, the young players let us down. Like Pete struggled. Not Pete. Pete? Caesar.
Oh, I was like, Pete's not young no more, bro.
Pete catching the street. I'm sorry, Pete. But even though he did have a few struggles, but anyway, Caesar, Zach Baum was getting worked in coverage, missing tackles.
We got to talk about Zach Baum, bro. I know we was talking about the offense, but we got to. We said it on the preview pod that this game against the Panthers would be like the doctorate course of being an off the ball linebacker in the NFL. Like, this is it. This is the test. And because I knew, bro, like I could feel it. I was like, Joe, and I said it on the preview pod. I said Joe Brady gonna have a plan. They're gonna go after Zach, bro.
He gonna circle 53. He circled 53, bro.
Like that's
what supposed to do.
Yes, that's just simple football.
He's a big 6'3", linebacker. Like, man, I'm gonna torch his ass. You know what I'm saying? And they torched him, man. Like he doesn't have those. He can't move like that. Like, come on,
no, he can't, man. And I don't get mad at him. And I know Saints. I think the easy thing to do as a Saints fan is to get mad at him as a player. But like, I don't get mad at him. I get mad at him being in that position.
Exactly.
He was like, and this is why I'm glad that we do this podcast, because like the whole entire timeline was roasting Zach Bond. And don't get me wrong, like you're in that position, you're an NFL player, you got to make plays, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, an NFL team drafted you an edge rusher that's all you played in college, and you played it pretty decently at a high level, made plays, and they're like, hey, you go now do this position. Yeah. And then your second year, when you didn't have really any plays in it in your rookie year, like now you match up against Christian McCaffrey? Like,
good luck. And Morgan Freeman.
So we thought we had depth. So then Quan goes down, and I think we saw today how much Quan is missed in like the coverage game.
Yeah, absolutely. Coverage, flats. Oh man.
You see, today was just a prime example of how much he's missed in that area. And then another little tangent. You draft. So first you take an edge rusher, then you move him to off the ball linebacker in the third round of the draft, right? 2 years ago. Yeah. Then maybe as an organization, you feel like, oh shit, like maybe he ain't maybe he's not going to be a good off the ball linebacker. Or maybe we messed that pickup. Okay, let's draft this other linebacker in the second round of this draft at 60. Oh, nope, didn't play.
Well,
he was hurt.
He was hurt somehow.
How? I don't know. I don't know how Pete Warner got hurt. However, I will eat crow and say you saw everything you wanted to see from Peyton Turner today.
You did. We did. And I have no problem eating that crow. Like, we needed to see that. And he started off a little bumpy. You know, he got a flag for going low. But I was looking down like, oh, but he kind of got there though. You know, so I was like, oh, it sucks when you got the flag, but he got there. And got a couple of plays where he got blocked down or whatever, played a little high. But then as the game kept going, I'm watching him. I'm like, okay, he beating his man, bro. Like he is working. Landon Turner. That's who was going again.
At left tackle, it was Cameron Irving.
Yeah, and he working the man.
He was.
And then he started beating him. I'm like, oh shit.
We saw it, bro. Like we saw it.
Yeah. So it's like that. That's just you just wrap that up. You don't think more beyond that. You just wrap it up. It's okay. The rookie got his first game in the NFL. Didn't get any preseason or nothing like that, and was able to be pressured and hit the quarterback. So I mean, that's good. That's a good thing because they need it. They need it so bad. Time was out.
We saw it today, bro. Like besides really Peyton Turner, like there wasn't no pass rush, bro.
Wasn't nothing, man. Cam Jordan, I'm sorry, man. Cam Jordan is like, this time is past. Sorry to say. He's still like a solid player. Like, it's not like he's complete trash out there. He does get pressure. I've seen him get pressure. And
I mean, he should have had a strip sack of Donald, but like.
Yeah. But it's like, he's not the guy no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. There were games, a couple of years past where, I mean, full quarter, he's like changing the game. He's causing a strip sack. Boom, he throwing tackles all in the air and all that shit. That's just not that's not him no more. Like I don't think that's in his game no more. And then the defensive tackle, we already know about that. Then it's a lot of guys. Old Malcolm Roach got an INT today, but they're not really pressure monsters until Onion Mata gets back in a couple of weeks.
I will say I love how Malcolm Roach pulled the old Sterling Moore, bro. It's like fuck that L. Let me praise my and honestly, I don't give two shits, bro. Don't care. Don't care at all, bro. So we saw some good things, some really good things from Peyton Turner, and I know, and I don't know. I know Nick on Twitter was kind of going after Paulson Adebo, and he didn't have a bad game to me.
No. I mean, look, he got DJ Moore did DJ Moore things against him early in the game. Caught a couple passes against him, but I didn't see him getting blown away.
And I think it's one of those things where some of those catches were good catches, and he was in great, and Adebo was in great position. I know what bad cornerback play is. Where we've seen where corners are no one's 30 yards away from a receiver. That's bad cornerback play. So teams are going to continue to go after him continuously until Marshawn goes, gets back. Teams are just going to go after him, man. That's just the game.
Yeah, like people players like DJ Moore, they gonna eat, man. Like twitchy dudes like that. I don't know, man. You just gotta understand they're gonna make their plays. DJ Moore made his plays against everybody. So it's like you gotta take that. And he kept battling. I tweeted earlier, I was like Debo, he had a few little he allowed some catches, but he kept battling through, knocked out a deep pass early, later in the game, made some key stops and tackles. He was fine, man. He was a fine cornerback. Like he was one of the better cornerbacks out there today.
Yes.
I didn't keep an eye on Bradley Roby. I saw him make a few piss poor attempts at tackling anyway. Tackling was poor today. Like it was the first time I've seen poor tackling this season, even in the preseason. Like everybody was just missing. Even Mario Davis missed the tackle. I was like, oh man, it's just like when I see shit like that, I'm like, oh, this is one of them days, yeah, man. Like everybody missing tackles and shit. It's just gonna be PJ Williams missed a couple key tackles. PJ Williams, like bro, like PJ Williams, like one of your things we keep you around for, bro, is because
tackling.
It's your tackling, bro. If you ain't doing that, bro, it's like, what you here for, man? Like, what you here for, bro?
He did get the pressure on. I'm not even a PJ stan, man. PJ just at this point just entertainment for me, bro. just entertainment for me.
Yeah, True Fine out there. Yeah,
he looked fine. And so let me ask you this: what did you come away from this game most, I guess, concerned or disappointed about?
That's a good question, bro. You know what? This has been on my mind. I really was disappointed we couldn't get AK going, man. Like, I feel like that's like, come on, man, that's your best player. And I don't know if anything going on with him. I don't know.
I don't think it's something with him because we saw just a week ago how good he looked against the Packers.
Yeah.
But for me, and this is why all those articles that we talked about it, but you gotta, like, to me, if you're gonna be a team that's touted to be one of the best offensive lines in football, top 3, top 5, whatever, best, like, you got to show it consistently. Now, maybe we were expecting a little too much as fans of how seamlessly that transition went when Caesar went in last week and Throckmorton went in last week. But on the flip side, it's like y'all had a week to prepare, though. Like to me, that's harder. Like going in, like switching right in the middle of the game and coming off the bench. Like that's way tougher than like having a week to prepare. You know you're going to start. But it's just so from that perspective, I think that's the thing that left as a fan me more, I don't know, discouraged, disappointed about because that's supposed to be your rock of your team.
Exactly. And that's the key to their success.
Yes.
And really, it always has been, even with Drew Brees.
Yes.
But it still is like, if the offensive line plays well, it just changes the game, man. Like we saw it last week. It just changes the way the game flows. And like I said, it was flipped upside down. Like time of possession was terrible. It was like Sean Payton's nightmare. Like terrible time of possession. Defense is on the field forever. Anytime we did something positive, we got called back. They never could get any rhythm. And the defense making penalties, so they stayed on the field longer. It was just terrible, man. It was terrible. But yeah, like the offensive line, like I'm not worried about them, but it's on my radar now. Like they got some shit to fix, And we know they can. No, we know they can play well, but I mean, look, give credit to Carolina Panthers, man. That defensive line, like Brian Burns, that boy a hound, bro. He is a whole dog out here.
Yes.
I mean, he was running down AK. I was like, damn, look at that boy move. Like he was moving, man. So, like, credit to them, man. They got some.
I don't know if Matt Rule took our preview show and just had, they're like, oh, we got a sweat equity defense. Oh, okay. just had it planned. Like, obviously,
they ain't no sweat equity right. That's talent, bro.
Yeah, it was, bro. Like you saw it. The players that they've drafted over the years, Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson,
Derrick Brown,
like it's coming together. Jeremy Chin, it's coming together for their team. And it's, if you listen to what Drew was saying on like the Sunday Night Football in America show before the Sunday Night Football game, Drew talked about how even last year when he was a quarterback, it was a difficult defense to prepare for because it's more of a college defense. And it's hard. He said it's hard to prepare for, and it's hard to make adjustments against. Even he said, both times that they played them last year, and that's Drew talking, right? Who obviously is a Hall of Famer. A question I will ask you though, because we're talking about the offensive line, is, and I don't think they would, but the Saints signed Austin Ritter. Practice squad at center. Do they? I don't know if they think about putting Ritter in at center, moving Reese back to right guard. I don't know, man.
It's possible, bro, because like I said, more goes in the center than snapping the ball and blocking, man.
Yes, it absolutely does.
If he, I don't know how much experience he has with protection calls and key in the mic and all that stuff, but if he does, they might will. Maybe they do start him, man, because that was an issue. That was the issue today to me. Just unblocked players coming in, protection issues. That was a major key. They had other issues, but that right there was 50% of the problem. And
you can't go to New England, bruh.
Oh man, bruh, Belichick would eat that shit for lunch.
He's gonna be watching that tape, just eating some cereal in his hoodie, just about to. It's an issue. It's a problem that has to be addressed. It has to be fixed. And it's so funny, right? Because how today is. Reese doesn't have the best game, and then I'm scrolling, and then on the Roto World thing, it says Michael Pittman Jr. had 140 receiving yards.
T. Higgins is balling out or so.
I don't know. Shout out to our guy Max. He tweeted it. Do the Saints have the worst weapons in football? Darth Saint on Twitter tweeted it, and I agree with him, bro. Because it's what?
I don't know. Jacksonville, who they got? I know they got DJ Chark.
They got DJ Chark. They got Chenault. They got Marvin Jones Jr. They got Chris Manhurst, baby. The Saints. So I would say bottom three, right?
Definitely.
Saints, Denver, New York Jets.
Texans. What Texans got?
Texans have a weird, just gross mishmash. Yeah, I would say Texas is in the bottom five, though. You're right. But it's just how
it's bad though. It's not good. We're not on the good side of the.
How did it get so bad? And I know even with Mike Thomas being taken away from this equation, right? Because obviously he's a huge piece that's missing. We get that, but bro, they rolling out games. I'm thinking about it right now. You're gonna go to New England next week on the road, and you're gonna put out Marquez Callaway, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Chris Hogan, and Adam Troutman.
But we saw it, bruh. We've been talking about this how long now, bruh? And it's for some reason they just don't see it. They don't see it.
Or they do and they don't for example, Terrace Marshall, one of them, they don't do enough to go
right
to get the guy.
It's and you bring in Kenny Stills late. It's he's been out there for months. Why are you bringing him? Why you didn't bring him in a month ago? So you didn't know it would be this way a month ago? We all could see it. What are you talking about?
Come on. We know Sean is one of the most brilliant offensive minds to ever be in football, bruh.
No question about it.
You can't tell me like he's watching cut-ups and he's satisfied. Like I don't like. Maybe it's all hubris, bro, but I don't know, bro.
And then like, man, you watch Red Zone while you watching the Saints, and like you just see athletes just doing athletic things, going low for the ball and jumping over guys. It's like damn.
Even Jerry Cook was balling today, bro.
Jerry Cook was out there balling, man. It's like damn. Like we got all these overachievers, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. Like I love overachievers, man. But it's like you need some of your dogs, and you know,
yes.
We got AKs right now. That's about it. And even he's not blowing it out the pocket for whatever reason, you know, the team or you know just way they call him the game or whatever. So if he's not going off, then what do you have?
Absolutely nothing, bro. Like that. Like that's it.
So, going up to New England next week, boy. Did they play yesterday? I didn't even.
Yeah, they played the Jets. Yeah, and Zach Wilson had 4 interceptions.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So, I would like to give us our own personal shout out of us calling 1 Dan Arnold great catch. Check. 2 JC Horn interception.
He wanted it, bro. JC wanted it too. Because he almost got 1 and he missed it. He did his little push-ups or whatever. And then he came back and got I'm like, ain't that some shit, man? I've watched this team too much, bro.
Too much, bro. Like we know how the story ends even before it's been written, bro. Like we just knew. We knew. So let's be real though. Like next week is a big game, man. They're 1-1. I believe they're 1-1 right now. Obviously the Panthers and the Bucks are on top of them in terms of NFC South. Falcons are absolute garbage. But next week's a big game, and Mac Jones. I'm just saying, bro.
Hey.
Mac Jones. It's going to be an interesting game, but hopefully, at least for next week, if there are players who didn't play today because of injury, like just getting those players back, even if it's a couple, will help tremendously.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, like Chauncey out was huge, bro.
Yes.
People really sleep on how good he is. It was funny, he was talking shit with JC Horn before the game. They showed the little clip. Like he was just trash talking. It is regular clothes. I'm like, man, sit your ass
He's not even an offensive player, Ryan.
Like, why is you talking trash right now, man?
To another quarterback.
And fucking Matt Rue had to come and break it up and shit. I'm like, oh man. Like, we don't need
Chauncey going Chauncey, bro.
No, that's Chauncey though, man. Like he's gonna do what he do. We need him back, bro. We need him. Marshawn Lattimore, he was limited a little bit this week. You know, it seems like he was kind of a game time decision. I think it's just gonna be like that. So, like, I would love to just get him back, man. Like, those are just crucial players for the secondary, bro. It's just like when 2 of those go down, like it's it's like a domino effect across the defense. Even they're saying they allowed 26 and 29 points today, but still, like. I know it's a lot of points, but it was 17. It was 17 points for a while, like
for a long time, bro. Like,
eventually the dam just broke, and he just couldn't hold them.
Yeah,
but it was 17. It was 17-0 for a long time.
And that showed me like a lot. Like DA made some great adjustments, especially after the first half, and really kind of just shut down what Carolina was wanting to do offensively. And it was just the offense just couldn't do nothing. Just nothing. I will say I am never the one to, besides the NFC Championship game, but I'm typically not the one to get like annoyed of like officiating. Obviously, but it was today's game was just grossly officiated, bruh. Like,
man, it was terrible.
Like
it was called the tight too.
Like the Christian McCaffrey first downs, where it's just like, y'all, those are some generous spots, and those
some generous,
and those roughing the passer penalties. Oh,
yeah.
Like two of them were valid, but there was one that was just like, it was just calling it close.
I just was like, damn, I could not play defense. That's got to be the hardest thing to do today. Like if you're a pass rusher, your job is to rush and hit the quarterback. And it's like you got to think, I can't do it above me, but if I go, but like Malcolm, I think was Malcolm Roach or somebody. He was above the knee. Like he was above the knee.
That was Malcolm Roach. Yeah.
It's like, what do you do? Like you working your ass off, snap after snap, finally get to the quarterback. But it's like your hand looked like it was somewhere it shouldn't have been. And it's like, oh my God. That's just crazy to me. From a league where it used to just annihilate quarterbacks. Just pow! Like you just beat the shit out of them. As long as it feels, as long as the play was going on, you could just do whatever.
Yeah, man. Ain't like that no more. Did today, obviously, players being out, coaches being out, did today change or sway your opinion of the team for the season?
Nah, man. Like this right now, it's like today was like the worst case scenario of what I expected, and like last week was the best case scenario.
Yes.
So it's like I'm still trying to figure out who exactly. They're not going to be this every week. They're not. No. Like Sean Payton's not going to roll this out every week, and they're not going to be like last week. Like everybody. When I was tweeting earlier this week about the Panthers and some of the things we need to watch out for, and like, and everybody was like, oh, we're going to, like, y'all calm down. Like, relax. This is not going to be the same Green Bay versus Saints game every week. It's just not. It don't work like that, man. So, I don't know. I think we still, like, September is usually Sean Payton trying to figure out this team. October, typically, they start cooking. So we'll see, but I'm still at about 9 or 10 wins, man. Like that's just what I think this team is. But the wide receiver core, bro, it's like, hey, I thought even with my questions about this wide receiver core, I thought at least like Callaway will show up a little more. But it's like nobody's stepping up, man. It's like
nobody. Yeah, man. It's rough, man. It's rough. Nobody's getting open. No one's creating separation.
Callaway was having a better season last year.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I can't even tell you why. Like I haven't watched the All 22. I don't know if he's just getting covered. I don't know if it's the offensive line or just the way the games are rolled out. It was just because it's not like Jameis has thrown a ton. He threw 22 times a day. Last week he threw 19 times or something. So it's not like we've been throwing the ball like crazy. It's just, it's just been some weird games. So I don't know, man. Like I'm still trying to hold out and just see what the hell is this team? Are you going to be a running team? Or are you going to be this passing team? Like what are you?
All I know is that if fully healthy, big if, but let's say majority fully healthy, the thing that's going to carry the team the most is the defense.
Yeah, that's not going to change.
Nope.
That's not going to change. So they need to get healthy if they're going to do anything.
All right, we recapped it for you. Kind of talk you off the ledge. Ain't that bad. At least not yet.
Bad. 1-1.
That's it. Like, what 1-1 is fine. Like, there are some teams right now that are 0-2.
And they getting that whole script. 0-2 got a 90% chance of making the playoffs and hitting that shit. So you don't want that.
No, you don't. But this upcoming week, we for sure will be previewing the Patriots game. Go if you haven't, y'all. I know we've kind of re-upped it in the past. Y'all go back and listen to that Mac Jones episode, man. Like Ryan and I give you a thorough breakdown of Mac Jones as a prospect of everything that you and we as fans are likely to see on Sunday.
Yep.
Like Go back and listen to that Mac Jones episode. I will say one last thing. There's some bubbling. Like if you're Sean Payton, and I don't know if Sean listens to the podcast. Let's pretend Sean does, bro. If you're Sean Payton, you have a team like the Jets. Denzel Mims, inactive. He's like the wide receiver 5. He was a second-round pick last year. Had a pretty decent rookie season as a second-round pick last season. Jamison Crowder just asked him to take a pay cut. He didn't want to take a pay cut. And so there's thoughts of him either going to get traded in the offseason, get cut. So finally he eats some pride, takes a pay cut, decides, you know what, I'll take a pay cut here, finish out with the Jets, become a free agent after this season, after this season. Healthy scratch for the Jets. You can't, and I know like scheme wise, like Jamison Crowder and Jameis is like not a good fit. Like that's like more of a Drew type of player. And Mims is like the better Jameis fit. But that said, like you got to be making some calls. You have to be making some calls because it is dire right now. Like
look, man, like I like little Jordan Humphrey, man. I really like him. And he did that little comeback route today, caught the ball and made a player miss, and was running in Timberlands. Running in Timbs, bro. No speed. I'm like, oh, this is terrible, man. Like,
hey, you already done made one deal with the Texans. Come on, bring Brandon back, bro. Just bring.
Man, I let Brandon Cooks, man. Shit. I'm
back. I feel like I'm elbowing, shooting with a shotgun like a dead horse. We just obliterating this thing, but man, it is just bad. It's real bad. And I just think like next week you're going against the Patriots, and what does Bill Belichick do to every opposing offense? Whoever your best player is, you gonna take him out the game, bro.
Gone. AK gonna be gone.
So you got to go elsewhere. So we'll talk about that more later. But if Sean listens, if he have an assistant that listens, someone in the organization that listens, can y'all just tell, like, just do something, like, just go help the offense out somehow, some way, please. Anyway, enjoy. If you're Patreon, hopefully you're listening to this tonight. You get the instant access to it. If you're not a Patreon, you're listening to this on Monday or a day some days after the game. Become a Patreon so you can have that early access. So anytime we put this up, it is up on Sunday night. You can listen to it. If it's a win, you can be drunk and be happy to listen to it. If it's a loss, you can just cuck yourself and just be even more sad about the Saints losing. I don't care. Just become a Patreon. So you have the instant access to all our recap shows. I think that's it. I am proud of what Ryan and I are building as a podcast. It's just us. We do this in our free time. Obviously, we work full time, long hours. So we do this in our free time. But slowly but surely, like there's been a buzz and a momentum to this podcast that's just been steadily building and increasing. For the year plus that we've been doing this. So that's exciting, and hopefully that continues. But obviously it's all because of people who listen. So even if you don't become a Patreon, you can leave rate us 5 stars on iTunes, leave a review. Anytime Ryan or I post a podcast on either Twitter or Instagram, just retweeting it and getting the word out, because maybe someone that hasn't ever listened to the podcast before will see it and then they'll listen to it. That's all we can ask our listeners to do to help grow it. So it would help us tremendously. So if you're listening to this, if you could do that for us, we appreciate it. So with that, we're going to get out of here. We're out.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.